Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very refreshing iced tea, a peach edition no less. Either way, welcome back to the game where people were getting tasered, as is per usual around here. And yes, we did manage to get some building done, specifically these cell blocks here, 1, 2, 3, although this top one here is yet to be fully finished off. But yeah, we're going to crack on in this episode and see how far we get. We can get a loan of $250,000, so what I'm tempted to do is quickly finish off the other two cells here, get some inmates, and then basically finish off the build with the electrified fencing and then perimeter wall, that sort of thing. Anyway, over to some utilities and the PA system, which will go in there. Over to quick build, custom, and then cloning. And I'm going to obviously select all of that. And then I'm just going to go 1 and then finally 2. So that's cracking on there. That is all fine. We also need to go over to utilities and wirings and connections. And the phone tap will go in. The CCTV will go in. And then finally the door control system, like so. There we are. Okay, so I think patrols are pretty much set up and working well. We have 2 sets of armed guards, top 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom respectively. I don't know whether we want to double up on that one. Money is pretty much fine. We've got, well, it says there 22,000 generic units of currency plus a bit of change before the daily cash flow. But that's not obviously that's a probably accurate number for now, but it is a very fluctuating number, as is finance in general. But it's basically because all of these trees here, we are definitely in the green energy export business as well as the lumber business, and as I've joked on a couple of times, we do have a sort of side project as well, which is, you know, inmates and all of that. So yeah, pretty much going to finish off with this episode for the series. Don't know if we're going to do an escape or an extreme testing. Let me know what you think on that one. Escape, I don't think there's much point because, well, there's far too many snipers being basically the ultimate sort of deterrent for anything really. We have done various things in order to get around them. I mean, I could, if I was to be so inclined, try to get through the front here, and then there wouldn't be a line of sight for the snipers because this is solid wall, but I very much doubt that'll actually work. Anyway, we did get some power export of 8,715 generic units of currency, so that is all good. Danger level is low, and let's have a quick check of the prisoner's needs, and we can see, yes, there is some needs going up, but it is night time, so we expect that. There is a privacy and freedom need, those two being obviously one of the big problems there. And did that prisoner actually get out? No, that is prisoner Felix here, and recent misconduct of destruction. I don't know what they broke, but it's obviously been fixed, or they're not very good at destruction. Either way, we'll see how we get on that one. I don't think there's any other green energy goals left. Let's have a quick look. Solar panel development, and what's this one? Green energy goal 8. The player must not use a power station for 10 days in game with prisoners present. That's curious that we've only just started doing that. It does say prerequisite of at least 5 inmates, so maybe that's why, because we've only got 8. How strange that one is. Okay, what do we get? 1 green energy source of each kind. Yeah, it's pretty much not an issue on that one. Anyway, utilities and PA system, and then we'll put a PA system in there, and then wiring, which is obviously going to be the standard connection. So it's CCTV monitor, 1 there, and the other one is getting queued up now. We can see the red line indicating that someone is on their way to install that. There's someone being this worker here, and that's now in, so we'll connect all that up. So 6 connections, yes, that's all good. So phone tap, and then another phone tap, and then finally the door control systems, like so. And that is, I think pretty much all of these finished. Yes, we do have close to new inmates. Hang on, intake, and let's say fill capacity. We've actually got the inmates now. So we have Aaron Christensen, we have Richard Hackett, and then Stefan Reichart, I believe. So yes, welcome. Okay, so this fence and this wall, it was never intended to stay as such. We're always going to, at least the plan was to always have, anyway, some some sort of fence, not the fencing, yeah, actually it is a fencing, it's an electric fence, isn't it? Yes. So do I want to put that in is the question. Well, how much is this little stretch going to be? So to do the very top, it's gonna be about 10 grand, isn't it? Yes, indeed it is. So what I'm gonna do is get that going. The actual fences themselves, I'm not the fence gates, should I say? I don't know if I'm going to change. I like the idea of being able to go through them at will. The whole idea with the electrified stuff is just to stop the inmates trying to climb over. Obviously, we'll do some stunning. So there is still some weak points in the form of these fence gates, but I'm not really too worried about that, truth be told. Anyway, let's go ahead and I'll run the electrical cable here. So on here, and this is going to prove to be a bit of an issue, actually. Let me go to sell utility, sell those two, and then that'll all be fine. I've already sold these bits, so actually that's all okay. So I'm just going to run this cable in here. You can see obviously we are almost doubling up on the cable. If I was to think ahead, I would have been able to save a little bit of money, but there you go, it is what it is. And then finally we get some connections there. I don't know why I'm connecting it up to the other side. It's not as if we need it like polarized or anything, but there you go. Looks to be Mitch Noon has been up to no good. Destruction and found tools. Interesting. Let me go ahead and check intelligence and last 24 hours. Apparently not in last 24 hours, 7 days? It doesn't say. Okay, fair enough. This internal fencing will also ideally have some electrified fencing, but I'm not too sure if we'll get onto that. I mean, there's no reason why we can't. I can just go to grants and just get myself a 25 grand bank loan and finish this off. It's not as if we are going to have to come back to it to do anything particular. So over to there and to here, and then this next bit which will go along to there, and then finally to there. So that's all of the electrified fencing. As I said, we do still have these fence gates which are a little bit of a weak point, but yeah, it is what it is. The main thing is that the fencing is in. I'm not going to put the barbed wire on. I know people have sort of joked a bit about electrified fence and barbed wire, and they both cause damage. And yes, truth be told, this is more of a I'm just going to complete. It's more of a complete rather than an actual need to do it. Really, yeah, I think so. But let's see. Oh, there's also loads of flooring missing in here, and some buildings as well. Some rooms, should I say, in this building. Over to programs, staff programs, and there's guard taser certification, first aid training. I don't think I really need to do any of those. Checking out our dog handlers, we got 6. I'm going to go up to 8. 12 guards, so that's a 1-to-1 guard to prison ratio. Don't know why I paused in the middle of that sentence, but there you are. In terms of our snipers, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to get another 2 snipers just for redundancy, you understand. Obviously, this is going to affect massively our cash flow and such, but that's not really a huge concern at this stage. Now, I could take out another loan, and let me just double check the forestry. We've got trees that are maturing, and we're probably going to be, yeah, they are starting to chop them down because of their position, and also the time in which they've taken to being chopped down, stumps cleared and then replanted and such. We've now not got really like a cycle of, say, a few days growth and then they all get chopped down and then basically repeat the cycle. It's more of a case of now they're just now and again you'll just see them fully maturing and then we chop them down and they'll get replanted. So it's more of a staggered approach now. So yeah, it's more of a, is that more of a realistic scenario? I don't really know. Anyway, I'm not up on the whole forestry business, even though we are in the forestry business. Gareth Fairburn here, recent destruction, locked down for 3 hours for their punishment. Obviously they're going to search their cell. That's one thing we probably don't need. Looking at this here, yeah, every time there's something bad happen, destruction, escape attempt, anything really, we search them and we search their cell. So it says him, cell, and then sector. We don't have the sector one, but the rest of it is in. For Supermax, we have not got prison labour on. All programs are on, but obviously they are permanently in here. I still do want to look at some point in the future some sort of like permanent punishment legendary facility, but that'll be, like I say, a future us problem. For the internals here of this, I think I'm going to go, for no other reason than I don't normally place it, some iron floors. And let's just see how we get on. Just going through these jail doors here, and our set of keys does indeed open them up, so I could, if I really wanted to, go ahead and change the fence doors, these ones here, fence gates. Yeah, we could always change those, but I don't mind the way they currently are. It allows access for workers as well as other staff members, and that is Richard Hackett, who's currently unconscious and seems to be bleeding on the electrified fence and barbed wire combo. Okay, I don't know what's happened there. It says recent misconduct none, so it's once again the snipers have just been doing some target practice or something along those lines. Let's just double check for a laugh. Reform. I'm going to guess it's... I'm going to be optimistic and say it's in 80 odd %. No, it's 93. It's still garbage. Right. Average punishment grade 9, average reform grade 9, work experience naturally is 0, security grade is 4, and health is -3, and that's most likely due to, as I said, the prevalence on basically armed staff. So yeah, all right. Daily cash flow has obviously plummeted to 594 from 22,000, and there is a death, and it is an inmate because we've now dropped to 11 out of 12. Let me just see what has happened here. Obviously it takes some time. I still have the reaction of using the scroll wheel to try and zoom out and then zoom back in, but obviously we're in Warden mode. So Andrew Rowe killed by a sniper with a rifle, and they were previously, again, recent misconduct none, so I don't know what's happening there. How curious. I wonder if the game triggers the very volatile trait and they go to do something like break or escape, but they're actually shot before they even do anything. I don't know if that's the case or not. There's another inmate that's yes, who's gone. That's Stefan Reinhardt, and it seems that Hackett has also not been healed up. I've just told I'm gonna search prisoner just to see what happens here. So they've searched, there we go. So what's happened is they were stuck in here and nobody could pick them up. So when I searched it, it sort of bumped them across, and then they were healed up and they've now moved along. If I didn't do that, they would have probably just stayed there until they passed. Yeah, okay. So we are on minus money these days, but obviously we are still working on the frontier. Is that another inmate? What's up with the guards today? Have they just all pretense of caring and they shouldn't? Nope, that's it. We've had enough. We've had enough. Anyway, that's was that? Is that 25%? No, there's 4. So that's 33%. No, that's more than. Can't even do the math. It's almost half of the inmates that we have in the facility have now been taken out by our staff members. Do we need to have some sort of training program for these guys? You can see, yes, danger levels are medium and increasing. I wonder if there's a fear factor in the needs. There is definitely a freedom and privacy need, but yeah, I'm guessing the inmates are fearing for their lives there. Let's see, Matt Hill and Tim Tothill. Okay, there you go. So, you know, we can get to a point where we are put in our own facility if too many people die. I think I don't know what the trigger point is for that event. After that, though, I think there's only a certain amount of inmates that can perish in the facility. I think it might be 3, if that comes to mind. I'm not really too sure. Anyway, danger level is... I had some shotgun fire, and then now it's going down. Okay. We are up to 12,000 generic units of currency. Let me go to electrical cable, and I'm going to run the electrical cable around this area. And let's do that. And there's another death, because of course there is. So once that's in, what I'll also do is I'm going to sell utility and do all of that and all of that. Okay, the rest of it's all connected up anyway, so I can probably just do this as well. and there is a tunnel warning actually where there's inmates for once. Let me go ahead and have a quick check at that one. I don't believe it in the slightest, you understand, but we thought I'd give it a go. It's there. I mean, it could be legitimate from this cell. I'll do tunnel search all sectors just to see what happens. I don't expect to find anything, mainly because tunnel search is normally useless anyway. But we'll do it just for the sake of searching. 23,000 generic units of currency. A lot of it to do with exports and bringing people in. So we got Joel Wagner there, I think it was, and more inmates being brought in. In fact, there they are. Wagner, yes. Gareth Fairburn. Who else have we got? We got Andrew Beckworth. Let me go to informants here, and oh yes, they're all legendary prisoners. What a surprise! Anyway, walls and doors, and the electrified fencing, and then let's go ahead and get all of this put in. Like I say, mainly just to get it completed. I did mention that there's another death there. I guess it's strange. I was gonna use the term it's on easy mode, doing it like this, but I mean it's not. We've had to use pretty much every trick in the book in order to get to this stage. And oh, there's a guard that's no longer with us. Let me go ahead and get another. I think at this rate I'm gonna have to get more doctors. We've also had a dog handler that's not there as well. Okay, so that's fine. I'm still gonna keep the amount of workers mainly for the forestry area. Just come in here and realise that this isn't it's without flooring. Let me go with why not red carpet? Well, a bit of red carpet. There we are. No, we won't go with red carpet. No, I might go with red carpet. There we go. I've got the money now. Danger level is going up, and it's another inmate that has passed. Interesting. Suit max is 9. Maximum security is 1. Why have I put on that? How have we got a maximum? We got all the maximum because that was turned on. How have we got prisoner Welsh? Now I can't click on them because I need to. I'm in Warden mode, so I need to go and actually physically find them. Let me just double check deployment to make sure this is all set up correctly, and I believe it is. Yeah, that's fine. So where is this inmate? So everyone's asleep, so that's all right. So most of them will just be snoring away, and I'm not seeing. Oh, there they are. Adam Welsh. I don't know how they've went to that. Is there a sentence adjustment criteria? There is, but it's highly unlikely that legendary inmates with mainly extremely volatile will ever get close to this good behaviour. Okay, fair enough. So I'm just going to double check all of the flooring in and around here. It looks to be correct. Down here is also in. We're going to go in the centre, and we've got 2 rooms that don't actually, have any purpose, but that's alright. There wouldn't be much we can really do about it. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? What I will do is I'm going to go to rooms and to dormitory. This is going to be dormitory, and in the dormitory it needs to have beds and other things, toilets. So I'll have a toilet, and then I go with bunk bed and bunk bed, and that technically should get cell block A completed once we've actually built this. And there we go. So that's 20 grand advanced payment for that one. So we can decrease our bank loan because that will obviously help us out long term. I'm going to dump the bunk beds because we're never going to use them, and I might as well. Actually, no, you don't want to dump them. You want to dismantle them, and then you can sell them. Yes. Okay. So we'll remove all of that designation. So that's now done. I'm going to go with cell block B, and then get rid of our bank loan entirely. Our credit rating's actually dropped a little bit, so you know what, I will actually increase it. Yeah, so we get that back up. Okay, so that's now gone. Over to storage, which is over here, and it's almost like a non-event now when someone's taken out in this facility. Right, cell object and cell object, there we go. Yeah, so we are going through inmates. It does say Soup Max is arriving, so that's all good. This bit I have not yet done. So walls, an electrified fence, and we'll drag this along to here. I thought I'd done it, but there you go. And I might increase my bank loan again, and I think I'm going to do it. I think I am going to put in the perimeter wall. I do think, honestly, this is pretty much pointless. Like, we don't need to do it, is what I'm getting at. But just for the sake of saying, you know what, that was the original plan, let's stick to it, see if we can complete it. I think that's worthy enough. Cost for this is 15,400. We have 28,000, so there we go. Obviously, it is putting the perimeter wall, which stuff can't go underneath. Well, I mean, prisoners can. They can dig as much as they want, and eventually they will get through. But what I mean is, you can't run any cables or anything like that. But we don't need to, so that's all good. And yeah, let's just go ahead and run around. That's all ordered fence-wise, but the workers have ceased construction for some reason. Let me go and double check our forestry. Oh, there's still loads of logs to shift. I mean, there's loads of logs just lying around, so we'll have to get rid of those eventually. Yeah, look at that, there's loads of trees. Okay. As I said, I'm not going to downsize our staffing. Don't see much need in doing that. How are we doing around here? Well, once again, they've ceased what they're doing. There's another death, and oh, in this case it is... what is it? 2 guards. There we go. We've got Jamie and Wick. That's a different film. That's the cheap knockoff. Right, we're going to run guard taser and first aid training. So, there you go. But yeah, I think the debate still rages on as regards to the whole, is free fire a good thing or not? One could probably argue both ways. I think because we've had it on so long, it's the way this facility is staying anyway, so yeah. Looks like the workers are almost finished the electrified fence, which is good. Just going to double check deployment. I thought that might have happened. So because we changed that to... this was dormitory, not that one. Oh, I don't know then. I might have just missed it out completely. This is all good. All of these are fine. Yep, that's all good. Alright. How are we doing up here? We're not doing, or rather, the workers are not doing. All the stuff's come in. We've got all the... all of the component parts, mainly concrete and brick, you understand. And it looks like the work is building up in the forestry area. I think someone mentioned, in fact I know someone mentioned that what stops you loading the game, building loads of forestry and loads of green energy and just sitting and waiting? Nothing. You can do that. I don't know how fun that experience may be. But if you were to set yourself a challenge, then yes, of course, you can do that. I know I've seen videos where people have played the game without getting a single inmate and got a lot of money doing it. It is what it is. How are the workers doing? Another death, and again, it's a staff member. In this particular case, it was a dog handler, so we'll rehire. Don't think I need any more cooks. No, I don't think so. Oh yeah. Bonaparte, the guard doggo. And there's Jonathan, who's been subdued. And then everything gets searched, because that's just what happens. Just going to run up here. And, oh, construction has actually begun, believe it or not. So see this? You get the little bit of concrete on either side of the perimeter wall. And, hey, the perimeter wall is actually finally getting built, which is good. I'm guessing the rest of it is just out here. Yeah, we've got gardeners planting, got workers chopping down trees, so everything is ongoing, which is fine. But yeah, the original idea for this series was to redo the whole legendary prisoner idea. Now we've done it a couple of times in the past. The first time Didn't work out, failure state, game over. Second time, we ran it again on even harder mode, because I think we put on legendary inmates as well as gangs, although because of the layout of the cells, which is very similar to this, the only difference really is that they were slightly smaller by, I think they were a 5x5 internal rather than a 6x6, and we had, actually no, there might have been a bit, well, the cell was 5x5 and the rest of it was a little bit bigger because we had, green energy goal 8 completed. 1 green energy loss of each type will be delivered to the prison. Good. So yes, we had the like sort of yards and canteens, and we had a bit of solitary, but it didn't truly, well, it worked, or rather it didn't fail is probably more accurate. Let me go ahead and sell these objects, because I'm not going to install them, I'm just going to get the raw cash money generic units of currency. There's some more fatalities, which in this particular case is, I'm not sure, 12 guards, 6 armed guards, 8 dog handlers. Did we have more than that? Did we have, how many dog handlers do we have? 8 should be fine, I guess, because we've only got patrols around here. Deployment patrols. 1, 2, 3 on patrol, I think. Anyway, yes, I digress. So, going back to the original idea, we wanted to make a legendary facility, and taking inspiration from our own design, with the idea of we having an outdoor canteen and focusing on snipers, and that's definitely paid off. I think we've had a lot, even though we get, a certain amount of deaths per day normally, I think it has actually worked out long term for obviously this. Yes, we could have gone for, there you go, look, so unconscious, and they might not. Oh yeah, they've been searched and they've given up. What was their misconduct? It was destruction, attack, staff, and murder. Okay, that's a fairly big list. Yeah, so as I was saying, we wanted to sort of copy off our older design and sort of redo it, and putting in things like PA systems, and the addition of the yard was actually a later one. I didn't originally have it, but then we decided to change that up. I'm going to prioritize the building of the perimeter wall, because like I say, I need to get this one completed. So just prioritizing all of this, and the guys have actually been building down here, which is a curious one. Walls and doors, and then perimeter wall, and the last one was about 15 grand, so this is going to be the same, 14,800 generic units of currency. And because I've prioritized the working of this, what will happen now is the money will go down, because we're not going to get any selling of the logs, but we will get the building of the walls, which is all good. But yeah, it's I think it's turned out all right. Obviously, we did Warden mode as a little added extra, as well as permadeath. I honestly would have thought the inmates would have tried to attack us more. It's never really felt like we've been targeted in any particular way, but then again, we very rarely got very close to the inmates. When obviously we're walking around, we can see through them and they can see us, but we've not went inside their cell. I mean, we can. They're asleep. Probably tempting fate here as we go in and say hello there, and then we wander off. Yeah. But would I do that if it was in the daytime and the inmate was just wandering around? Absolutely not. That's just not going to happen. No. But yeah, overall it's been fairly decent. I did say at the start, we weren't really going to be focusing on the whole money thing as a challenge. In fact, truth be told, we could have probably turned on the infinite money and probably unlocked everything from bureaucracy if we were so inclined, but matters not. Oh wow, this has all been built. No, it hasn't. Said that and then realised that all of this is still to do, and then all of this is still to do, and then if I go out the front very quickly, we've got not actually as many trees as I thought. I thought a lot more would have matured by now, but there you go. So if there was anything I would do differently, it would probably be to shrink these cells down a bit and have them as maybe back to a 5x5, and then we'd be able to fit maybe 1 or 2 more in. Yeah, possibly. I do think the inclusion of the yard is worth it. And that strip of canteen is actually, yeah, I'm fairly happy that that worked, and probably will utilise that little, I was going to call it exploit, but it's not really, is it? I'll probably utilise that design in the future. We could have done some more automation, that's for sure. We could have probably ditched the green energy if we needed to, but I just like running it. Look at all these workers exhausted. I mean, to be fair, they have been building quite a lot, ripping trees, tearing the roots out, etc. So it's a lot. I think at some point we do need to just try a facility that's fully open plan as much as we can and just have snipers everywhere. That might be an interesting concept, but I'm not really entirely sure. But yeah, basically completed it. So that's all good. That's all good. Certainly there's stuff I haven't really truly finished off, like the staff room is the bare minimum, but we haven't got staff needs on, so as long as you've got a staff room, the only thing you have to look after is the staff's tiredness value. And there's another inmate, sadly perished on our shift. Not by our hands, but, you know, I guess the responsibility stops at us. But the Warden mode, would I run it again? I mean, yeah. I don't know what advantage it affords us. Definitely putting on, like I say, the permadeath and having legendary prisoners, assuming perhaps wrongly that we're going to be targeted, was, I think, the right approach for an additional challenge. But there we go. Power export is 8,711. So that's all good. We are actually minus daily cash flow. That's probably because, as I mentioned, we are prioritising the building of the wall, and we've got all of these trees to chop down. But then there's still loads of like logs and stuff just sitting around anyway. So yeah, there you go. Last remaining bit of perimeter wall to be done, and we will be leaving it there. As for a follow-up, like whether it be extreme testing or an escape, I'm not too... certainly the escape I'm not going to bother with. Extreme testing will basically be about demand, and I think we've already really tested it to its limits. If all prisoners, all 12 of them, well 10 at this point, try to escape, then what's going to happen? The snipers will just take a double shift and deal with it, and we've got one-to-one guard and inmate ratio, plus the doggos. So yeah, all good. All good. That has been the Warden Mode Legendary Facility, and, well, yeah, we've, I think, done all right on this one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Any tips, comments, suggestions, changes you would have liked to have seen implemented, and ideas for future series, then by all means let me know in the comments. Hope you have enjoyed it. Take care, and generic partings. Would have been rude not to finish it off in here.